Hello to you all. We're going to be discussing the tree of life, the Etz Chaim. We discussed last week the Sefirah, the prism of the crown, which comes from the top and inspires us with faith, with goodwill, with strong inner power, and also with the incredible inspiration and spiritual pleasure. We go now to the right pillar of the Sefirot, of those prisms, godly divine prisms. We go to the first one, which is wisdom. Wisdom in the Hebrew is chokhmah, which actually means koachma, which means this is the infinite quantum sea from which infinite potential is there, but it's still raw material. It's not been harvested, it's not been chosen yet. And in order to achieve that, to go into this field, we need to come with nullification, with surrender. Because the whole point of it is that instead of going to the left brain, which is logic and rigid limitations, we need to be open to endless options that the divine, that God is going to offer us through that Sefirah of wisdom, of Chokhmah. In order to do this, we need to come with nullifying ourselves. We need to be a nobody in order to achieve somebody. We need to be nobody in order to achieve everything and everybody. So when we go into this, we need to do it with humility. We need to do it with the objective of connecting to the divine. What do we know about this incredible Sefirah, prism of light? Well, God wanted very much with his compassion to give it to us in a way that we can handle, we can manage, we can hold that energy. And that energy is infinite. So he created different kind of prisms, Sefirah, through which we can contain, we can be a conduit to handle this kind of thing. So in our right brain, we have our unconscious, we have incredible, infinite way of thinking about things, seeing the objective, seeing the horizon in front of us, even though it did not materialize. And only then, and after we have this brainstorming, after we have this illumination, this enlightenment up there, then can we bring it down to our world. And that's what we're going to discuss next week, the sphere of Binah, which is the understanding of quantifying things. But as of now, we need to come into the, how do we get in there? Well, meditation is a very good way. Prayer is a form of meditation, as the Holy Baal Shem Tov said some 250 years ago, is an incredible way of achieving that opening to this incredible Sefirah, and thinking out of the box and being very humble. Because humility allows us to listen to the other, to listen to other options, to be open to other options, even though it's out of the box. Most of us, after being around the block and have seen a bit of life, we know that many times we come to a cul-de-sac, to a dead end, where we see no way forward. And then an inkling comes from nowhere. I will tell you a short story about it, about a certain gentleman who's expert in diving, took 2 trainees with him south of Israel in Eilat, and in that beautiful sea down there. And as they were diving in, they went into a cave underwater, and shortly afterwards, they were surprised and shocked to see that complete darkness, and they don't see the way out. They looked at the clocks and the watches, and there's 1 minute, 60 seconds left for oxygen in the air balloons at the back to live. And in that pressure, and with no time, and being secular people, that person who's the expert, who is the guide, decided to pray and shout into the oxygen mask on his face. And he shouted, "Please, God, help me. Whatever you want, I will just do. Just save me. I'll change my life." And he did. In that 1 split of a second, he saw up there behind him a ray of light, which was no way that he knew that it was there or could have thought about it. It was out of the block completely. Once there, he took these 2 trainees, grabbed them and pulled them out, and they shot out of the back, breathless, out of time, out of oxygen, back to life. He changed his life completely and became a very religious person who lectures around the world about this miracle and how did it change him. But that's because he allowed himself under pressure and duress to change his life. We don't need to do that. We can do it right here and now, because there's so many challenges anyhow. When it comes to your marriage, when it comes to your health, when it comes to your career, when it comes to your personal growth, in every area of life. Above that Sefirah, governs it from above the sacred letter of Mem. Mem is like an M in the English, but in the Hebrew, Mem comes from the word mayim, which is water. And indeed, the element which governs this Sefirah is the element of water. So what do we know about it? This is the quantum infinite sea of water, where infinite potential is there. It's raw material. We haven't used it yet or applied yet to water, where it's going to create a tsunami, where it's going to create power, electrical power. We can harvest and harness this power of the water out of that. And in there's incredible intuition, not like many have been mistakenly misled and thought that left brain is attributed to the intuition, which we'll discuss next week. No, but right brain, out of the box, where is no limits to our way of thinking, is conditioning us to this incredible intuition that we get. It's also connected Kabbalistically to that light, to that tummy, to that gut feeling that we have inside, which is also governed by the letter Mem. So there's a connection between right brain and gut. When you say, I feel great in this job, but my gut tells me I'm not going to last here and something is fishy over here, you should listen to your gut, because this is your incredible intuition of that letter, that incredible letter Mem. The letter Mem is very compassionate. It's a very warm letter coming from the element of water. In other words, if we really want to extend ourselves, we were created in a tendency naturally towards selflessness, towards self-centeredness. We want to get out of this. We need to think of the other. We need to be sensitive, dignified, and see the other person and their needs. Once we do, we're going to open ourselves to many possibilities, far and further from our own horizons, limiting horizons, because we have stretched ourselves, because from outside of who we are towards the divine, who is completely giving. There's a full lecture of it of about an hour that you can watch from last night, Thursday night, on YouTube. God bless you all, and good Sabbath.